Hey there, I've been diving deep into the numbers, chasing market trends, and something's caught my eye. You know those prices creeping up at the grocery store? Well, believe it or not, they're about to go into overdrive. We're not just talking caviar and champagne here, we mean the basics. Bread, milk, the staples of your kitchen, they're all set for a major price hike. By the time we hit 2024, everyday commodities like our beloved coffee and wheat could potentially double in price. I'm not joking. Everything from your favorite beef patties to those handy canned tomatoes are on the hit list. Crop failures, tariffs, pesky shipping issues, and extreme weather events, they're all part of this complex puzzle that ends with our grocery bills soaring sky high. After a lot of investigation and gabbing with the experts, it's crystal clear we better strap in for a wild ride. Maybe it's time we took up home gardening or even canning. But hold on. Let's get down to business. Here's the scoop on the 12 of essential grocery items that are lined up for a 100% price hike come 2024. All right, let's dive into our first point, chicken, the all-American staple. It is at the heart of so many meals we love, but brace yourself because its price might be heading skyward soon. Why, you ask? Well, our feathery source of protein is at the mercy of several factors. From diseases like avian influenza that can wreak havoc on chicken populations to the economic ups and downs affecting the cost of their fodder, corn and soybeans, and let's not dismiss the human element, issues within the workforce at our chicken processing plants. All this turbulence in the supply chain can send costs soaring and, before you know it, we might be looking for other sources to get our protein fix. Buckle up, chicken lovers, we're in for a wild ride. Get ready for a jolt as we dive into second item, the ever-versatile tomato. Central to a multitude of dishes, tomatoes face their own fair share of trials and tribulations, from the farm all the way to your kitchen table. They're like the divas of the vegetable world, needing just the right weather conditions. Not too rainy, not too dry, or else their yield and health take a hit. And here's the twist. Most of our tomatoes are grown in areas that are frequently at the mercy of extreme weather and, lo and behold, labor shortages. Yes, because tomatoes still need that human touch for harvesting. And don't forget about those pesky trade issues. A considerable chunk of our tomato supply comes from our neighbors in Mexico, but policy changes and tariffs there can shake things up in a heartbeat. So what's the solution? Innovations in farming like drought-resistant strains and improved greenhouse methods could be our saviors. But if these don't pan out, brace yourselves. Variability in tomato prices could become the new norm, and we might be looking at a shift towards seasonal and local produce. So next time you're making that pasta sauce, remember, those tomatoes have been on quite the journey. All right, moving on to our third prediction, almonds. These aren't just your favorite crunchy snack or the secret magic behind your dairy-free latte. Almonds are a major player in the global food industry, and guess what? Their prices might soon go sky high. Why, you ask? Well, California is the heartland of the world's almond supply, producing a whopping 80% of the global total. But the Golden State is facing a major crisis. Almond trees are, quite frankly, horrendously thirsty, demanding a gallon of water just to produce one little almond. Imagine that! Now add in the increasing water scarcity issues, especially in drought-hit California, and you've got yourself a problem. And if that weren't enough, there's another hitch. Bees, our buzzing little friends, are indispensable for pollinating almond trees, but they're in trouble. Pesticides, habitat loss, disease, you name it. It's affecting our bees. And with fewer bees, that almond yield is set to plummet. So what's the fallout for us? Expect to see some serious almond price hikes and availability issues. Just like other crops facing similar challenges, we might need to start considering other nut alternatives or different sources for our non-dairy milk. Keep an eye on this, guys, because the future of almonds is about to get a lot more complicated. Just wait until you hear this one. Number 4 on our list is bread. Yes, you heard it right, the humble loaf that we all take for granted. But there's more to bread than meets the eye. Its production is an intricate dance with nature, depending heavily on the wheat crops, which are now at the mercy of unpredictable weather patterns, thanks to climate change. Any hiccup here can lead to less yield, forcing prices to climb and leaving us, the consumers, in a pinch. But that's not all. The baking industry is grappling with economic pressures too, from wages for their workforce to the cost of energy. Each of these plays a part in the ticking up of that price tag on your favorite loaf. And let's not forget the latest trend of specialty breads. From gluten-free to exotic grains, these are all the rage right now. And guess what? They come with a heftier price tag too. So local bakeries and big-time producers are constantly juggling to keep bread affordable and within your reach. What does this mean for us? We might have to brace ourselves for a hike in the price of bread or maybe a change in the variety available on the shelves. Our fifth item on the list is rice, a dietary staple for a large portion of the world's population. The story of rice is a complex one, entwined with climate change, labor issues, and shifting trade policies. Much of the world's rice is grown in areas heavily affected by changes in seasonal rains and temperatures. A shift in these patterns can drastically impact yield. Likewise, rice cultivation is labor-intensive, and rising wages in many producing countries have the potential to push costs higher. Furthermore, changes in trade policies and tariffs can cause volatility in prices, as rice is a key commodity in international trade. As we face the future, we may need to expect higher prices for this humble grain, or perhaps turn our attention to exploring alternative grains that might be more resistant to the changing climate. The sixth point to consider is yogurt, a common staple in many diets that could also see a significant surge in price due to various factors. For starters, yogurt production is directly dependent on the health and productivity of dairy cows, which are susceptible to diseases and changes in feed costs. A significant portion of the feed is made up of corn and soybeans, the prices of which are increasingly volatile due to climate change and political unrest. Furthermore, the process of turning milk into yogurt involves bacteria fermentation, a process that requires specific temperature conditions, making energy costs a significant factor in yogurt production. As the world grapples with energy crises and the push for more sustainable energy sources, this could inevitably impact the cost of yogurt production. Lastly, the trend towards organic and specialty yogurts, which require more stringent farming practices and have higher production costs, is growing. This shift in consumer preference could also push the prices of yogurt higher. Therefore, we might have to brace ourselves for higher yogurt costs in the future or start looking at non-dairy or homemade alternatives. The seventh item on our list is peanuts, an ubiquitous ingredient found in everything from your favorite snack bars to savory sauces. However, the production of peanuts is fraught with challenges that could potentially drive up its price in the future. Growing peanuts is a laborious and sensitive process, requiring specific soil and climate conditions. Changes in weather patterns due to climate change could significantly impact yield. Moreover, peanuts are susceptible to a range of diseases and pests, which can devastate an entire crop if not controlled effectively. On top of these, production costs including labor, machinery, and irrigation are all subject to economic fluctuations. Political instability and trade policies can also introduce additional volatility to peanut prices. Finally, the growing demand for organic and specialty peanuts, which are more expensive to produce, could further inflate prices. Hence, it's time we start considering the future of peanuts and exploring sustainable alternatives. Why, though? The answer lies in a perfect storm of threats, including disease and climate change. Now, most of our bananas come from Central American nations, where economies hinge precariously on this one crop. The trouble is, these monoculture farms are a breeding ground for diseases like the notorious Panama disease, which could wipe out banana supplies faster than you can say smoothie. And there's more. Climate change is upping the ante with an increased risk of hurricanes and floods, adding another layer of existential threat to our beloved fruit. The reliance on a single variety, the Cavendish, is a ticking time bomb. If we don't start diversifying and investing in disease resistance soon, we might just have to brace ourselves for a banana scarcity. So, my friends, don't say I didn't warn you. Alright, next on our list at number 9 is the fan favorite salmon, known far and wide for its abundance of omega-3s. But here's the kicker. the story behind your much-loved salmon is not as rosy as it seems. Wild salmon populations are taking a serious hit due to issues like overfishing, the loss of their natural habitat, and the looming menace of climate change. As for salmon farming, while it does promise a more reliable supply, it's caught in a web of environmental issues and regulatory restrictions that push up costs. Brace yourselves, as the global demand for salmon is skyrocketing, prices are taking off on a roller coaster ride. So, in the coming years, you might need to shuffle through some fish alternatives that offer you taste, health benefits, and most importantly, are friendly on your wallet. Hold on to your toast because we're diving into number 10, avocados. These gems have had a meteoric rise to stardom, moving from humble toast topping to a shining symbol of healthy eating in a heartbeat. They've managed to charm their way into our hearts and onto our plates, but this journey is not as smooth as the creamy goodness they are famous for. Picture the scene. Most of our beloved avocados come from sunny Mexico, with the golden state of California also pitching in. Sounds idyllic, right? But here's the twist. Avocados are thirsty. They need water. In places like California, where Mother Nature seems to have a personal vendetta against rainfall, this water scarcity is driving up costs for irrigation, and you guessed it, the price of our precious avocados. And that's not all. My avocado admirers. The plot thickens with political and trade issues, creating an unpredictable roller coaster ride for our avocado imports. Plus, their popularity has caused a stir in the environmental scene. Some forests in Mexico are falling victim to illegal clearings to make way for more avocado trees. This not only puts ecosystems in danger, but it could also spell disaster for the sustainability of avocado production. So, what's the bottom line? If these trends keep up, your avocado's journey from the farm to your plate and wallet could get a lot tougher. Avocado lovers, brace yourselves. You might need to weigh up how much you're willing to pay for your favorite green fruit, or even harder, whether it's time for a sustainability check on your avocado love affair. The future of avocados is hanging in the balance, and it's one ride you'll want to keep your eyes on. All right, we're on to point number 11, and believe it or not, it's all about apples. Yes, you heard me right. The humble apple. You know that old saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Well, getting your hands on that daily apple might just become a whole lot harder in the near future. Picture this, vast apple orchards spread across the heartland of America, like Washington, New York, and Michigan. These are the heavyweight producers of our favorite fruity snack. But as you might have guessed, they aren't immune to Mother Nature's unpredictable moods. Early spring heat waves, followed by nasty frosts, can wipe out apple blossoms in a heartbeat. Pests and diseases? Yeah, they love apples too, and a shifting climate only makes things worse. But the journey of an apple doesn't end here. It's a race against time from the moment they're plucked from trees. Rising fuel prices and labor shortages can hit the supply chain hard, driving up costs. And let's not forget about the rising demand for organic apples. They come with their own set of challenges and costs, thanks to strict regulations and labor-intensive farming practices. If these hurdles keep popping up, we might have to brace for higher apple prices and a shift towards more local and seasonal eating habits. And that means those out-of-season apple varieties we've grown so attached to could soon become a rare sight in our grocery aisles. All right, we've made it to number 12, and it's the humble egg. Now, don't be fooled by its simplicity. There's a whole world of complexity behind how these little guys get from the farm to your kitchen table. And hey, let's not forget about the feed cost. Those hens love their gourmet grains, and if the price of high-quality grain jumps, you bet that'll affect the price of your breakfast omelet. Then we have the rising demand for free-range and organic eggs. This is a great win for the hens, but it does mean that farmers have to rethink their practices, which doesn't come cheap. Don't even get us started on labor challenges. Eggs don't package themselves, you know? So if the workforce wobbles, egg prices may very well wobble with it. Given all these pressures, don't be surprised if egg prices start to skyrocket, or if plant-based egg alternatives suddenly become the next big thing in your supermarket. In conclusion, whether it's salmon, avocados, apples, or eggs, the journey these staples take from farm to table is fraught with complexities and challenges. From environmental impacts, climatic shifts, rising labor costs, to evolving consumer demands, These factors could potentially reshape our food habits and choices in the future. We are certainly living in interesting times, aren't we? Now I have a question for you. What are some sustainable alternatives you've turned to or are considering, given these changing times? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to read your ideas. If you enjoyed this video and found it insightful, please remember to give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more intriguing insights and food for thought. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the world of food with us.